or the weed. I mean, my God! How much more can you stink?
All right, brand new segment. Probably my favorite drop of the pod.
I hope we do this game forever.
This is Spit Take. We each came up with some unpopular opinions.
Hot takes, if you will.
Yes, we're going to talk about them first take style, if you've ever seen First Take on ESPN. Who wants to get it started?
I'll
Let's
go.
Just go right to Taylor. Yeah,
I got. I got strong opinions here. Okay.
Oh,
this one, I think I'm gonna incite a little bit of controversy, some riot here, and I honestly believe this. The NCAA tournament is one of the worst things that we have in sports. The NCAA bracket, March Madness, is one of the worst things we have in sports.
Wow.
It is not entertaining at all because you can never stick to one game. Okay. There's way too many upsets, and everyone's always like rooting for the upsets. Okay, nobody wants to watch the 11 seed play the 12 seed. No one wants to see that. No one tunes in and watches those games. Those are not entertaining games. It's bad basketball. We need to limit this. We need to make sure that the regular season is important. Okay, and we need to just limit it to like 16 teams. Then we're watching quality games. Okay, but I hate the NCAA tournament. It's not good.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you on that one. I think there are flaws with the selection of those teams. Like, I think it's super subjective to have, those 64 plus 4 teams or whatever in the decision.
It's too many
that goes
people
into making those. But I think that the process is the best process that we have of determining a national champion in college sports.
I would agree with that.
I don't think there's anything better to determine who wins. Are you telling me you're okay with the 4-team college football playoff to determine a national champion?
I absolutely am okay with that. We do not need more teams. You do not need to have a 2-loss Michigan team playing Alabama. I know that Alabama's better, and we all know that it's so at college football it's different. Everyone is so good at the top that it's really a question every year. And I'm not saying I like this, but it's the reality.
And that
it's
should be
Alabama.
The way that it goes.
It's Alabama. Well, we always talk about, we need to have more people. But the 4th team every year is Oklahoma. And what always happens? They always get blown out. They're not close. The college football, there's 3 teams at the top, year in, year out. We don't need any more people.
I think they're currently restricted, the college football, because they feel like they have to have teams from at least 3 conferences. They're throwing Alabama in when it probably should be Auburn or Georgia or the other good SEC team. Probably not the Big Ten team because they suck. But there's or the Pac-12. But I think that would be much more enjoyable to watch Alabama play like Utah last year. I would have loved to see Alabama play Utah.
You want to see Alabama score 900 points on Utah?
Did you watch Utah last year? They were good.
Against who? Against who?
Against the entire Pac-12.
It's the Pac-12.
Cal, UCLA, USC. Those are some good teams.
No, they're not. They're good names. They're not good teams. They're good names. The Pac-12 football is terrible. It's terrible. The SEC is so far and above better. I don't even understand why we're having this conversation. Honestly, the SEC championship should be just the national football. That should be the BCS title game. I would rather go back to that.
Complete disagree.
Interesting. Well, okay, Taylor's point kind of runs into mine because Taylor, I disagree with you about the NCAA tournament because I think college basketball is way better than the NBA. That is my unpopular opinion. I love the upsets. I love the cool thing about March Madness is the fact that it gives everybody a chance, and I love that. It's super fun to watch. I love the rankings. There's just more variance in things. I love to see it.
Yeah, and I think, Joe, this is obvious to me that you lived far enough away from where these professional sports were happening. Like in Kalamazoo, you're what, 2.5 hours away from Detroit?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours away from Chicago.
Yeah.
You don't have the emotional attachment to watching those pro teams play.
Well,
I know you're a big fan of the Tigers, but you kind of bailed on the Lions the first chance that you set foot in Missouri, Kansas City, whatever.
So look, I think... I mean, obviously, I still hold the Tigers close to my heart because I love the Tigers.
Yeah. But you're a baseball fan. You
my first
understand- you
NFL
get it,
game
and it's-
ever was at Arrowhead, so I was like, okay, I'd never gone to Ford Field for a football game. So yeah, I
You're
don't
not
know.
missing
Maybe
much.
I didn't really get into the NFL until like 4 years ago, and I've never really been a terribly big NBA fan. I was when I was really young,
Yeah.
but it's shifted to college basketball now for sure.
And I think it's that emotional connection that you're missing from the NBA.
It could be.
I agree with you that I don't like the NBA as much as I do like college basketball. As much as I don't like March, I stop watching when we get like tournament time. But your reasoning
That is
for like
so backwards. I cannot understand
that's pretty
that.
strange.
I want to watch.
You'd rather
I wanna
watch. You'd rather watch Rutgers against Nebraska.
I don't watch those games. Those are two terrible teams. But I also there's terrible teams playing each other all the time in the bracket. We're moving on from this. Okay.
All right, Evan,
We're
what's
moving on.
your unpopular opinion?
We're coming back to
y'all
that.
are just wrong. Okay, let's just move on.
So if I'm making a grilled cheese, I don't think there's any better cheese than a Kraft American cheese single.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's like plastic, dude.
Ugh.
Do you take the plastic off, or do you leave it on because you're eating plastic as the cheese anyway?
The plastic
take it off.
enhances the flavor.
Yeah,
And I had two.
That's disgusting.
So two
That is-
two little layers.
It is more not cheese than it is actual cheese.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's 51% ingredients is not cheese. That's
We
disgusting.
could get the wrapper, but
Do you
we could
also
get the
put
wrappers in
mayonnaise
check.
on your grilled cheese? I hear that's a thing too.
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right, I'm okay with that. Taylor, how about another
That
one?
must be a Missouri thing. Missouri thing.
Okay, this is one like really close to my heart, and I told Joe this the other day, and you noticed that I had like a panic attack or like something, but like milk, I'm like gagging even just thinking about it. Like I think milk is like the most. I'm literally gagging. I think milk is so disgusting. Like people that just drink straight up milk, like the consistency of it and the flavor, that's so gross. Milk is so disgusting. Like I like dairy products when you can't actually taste the milk. I'll drink chocolate milk because I can't taste the milk, but milk by itself is disgusting. I would rather drink urine than drink milk.
Wow.
Ugh.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. I'm not a huge milk drinker myself, but I would definitely much rather drink that than urine.
I am like seriously like my throat is closing right now thinking about milk. It's
Wow.
disgusting.
I have a nice tall glass of I guess it's a protein shake, but I use milk.
Milk.
Oh, he's gagging.
Taylor
All right,
needs some milk.
My next unpopular opinion is okay. Everyone hasn't seen these shows, but I think most of us have. Friends and Schitt's Creek, great shows. Absolutely awful finales. The worst finales ever in the history of ever. The Friends finale could have been so much better than it was. It was like, it's not as bad as Schitt's Creek, like their finale, but it was still like they should have just done something else with the character stories. It was a letdown.
I have zero opinion on the Friends finale, but I thought the Schitt's Creek show ended beautifully.
I did not like it. I thought it was just a complete letdown to everything that show was. I really enjoyed the show.
Were you disappointed that it ended? Were you disappointed that it ended?
I was
which is why
disappointed in how it ended.
Why?
It just was not like it just like all of a sudden ended.
Well, yeah.
It was like there was no like the reasons they had for ending it just weren't good enough for me. Like it just didn't do it for me.
They felt like the magic of it was over, and so they decided to just quit while they were ahead.
I'm fine with that. They just have to end it in a more creative fashion.
Fair enough.
Not a fan.
Fair enough. All right, I've got another one here. I absolutely love the oboe, and I know it's most people's least favorite instrument to listen to, but I think that, when a professional, I'll say a professional and not high schoolers, plays, I just think that it is just a beautiful instrument, which just so lovely to listen to.
I need a drink after hearing that. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
I will chime in. I agree that if the oboe is played well by a professional, it is enjoyable to listen to. But more often than not, it's not enjoyable to listen to. Like, there are very few oboe players that like are like, I guess most professional oboe players, I'm like, yeah, this is great. But
Yeah,
like,
right.
yeah, if it's not like high school aged, I could definitely see that it's nasty.
Anything.
Yeah, I'd rather just stick it in my ear, but
Anything that. Can we get a drop for that, by the way?
Stick it in my ear.
Yeah. Can we get a drop for that? No, but anything being done at the highest level is going to be entertaining. Okay? I don't care what instrument it is. It's going to be entertaining. But of all of the instruments that are out there that you think are like just a beautiful instrument, that is not a beautiful instrument. That is an instrument of terror.
I would rather listen to a professional playing the oboe over a professional playing the trumpet or the clarinet all day long.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Gosh, go Rams. Ugh, gosh. They're going to have a band full of like 10 oboes now. Ugh.
Dude, I wish. One of my kids just told me today that she's not going to continue in band, and I was like, she was our best oboe player. Sad.
All right, let's run it back one more time here.
I got one last one, and I feel very passionately about this, and I don't want anybody listening to this to think that I am just like, I am a terrible person, okay?
Too late.
You do not need to tip somebody unless you are being waited on. You do not need to tip, okay? If I go to a coffee shop and I ask for a coffee and you make it and you give it to me, I should not feel obligated to tip you, okay? The drinks at coffee shops nowadays are like $6, okay? They do not need a tip to do that. They are just doing the bare minimum of their job. If you want to be kind and do a tip, that's fine. But unless I'm being waited on, you should not feel obligated to tip somebody. Okay. Now that being said, if I get some nice service and they smile and they make a joke and they like compliment my hair or something like that, which no one ever does. But if they're kind and stuff, then I will leave a tip. But I have done it. I have gone to coffee shops before or a sandwich shop or something like that, and I have not left a tip. And I get the stink eye from the person working there. And it's like, no, this is not like a sit-down restaurant. This isn't Chili's, okay? You do not deserve a tip unless you're actually going back and forth and you have to like juggle other tables and do other stuff. Then I leave a tip. And for the record, I'm a very generous tipper. Very generous. But you do not deserve a tip unless I'm actually being waited on.
Generous tipper. I think we should get a drop of that, too.
Oh, my gosh. If you go to Potbelly, do you leave a tip?
They don't have a tip jar. They don't accept tips.
Ooh, got him.
Bad example. But like if you go to if you go to Starbucks,
I know because I work there. Yeah, every time.
Wow.
I mean,
usually...
of the $3.50 coffee that I would get at a coffee shop, they're not seeing all $3.50. So yeah, it's the same as if I go to a bar. Like I tip if I'm at the bar, I'm tipping $1 per drink. The same thing with coffee. Yeah,
I usually tip as well. But
I feel like 10 years ago there was like this shift to like, let's just always ask, like, do you want to leave a tip? And everybody now feels like they are guilted into that. And by the way, I just want to say, 15%.
Let's just pay people more.
15% is the standard tip. And now all of a sudden we're saying, 20%
is the standard tip. No, 20% is the standard tip.
20% has become the standard tip. But for like 40 years, it was 15. And then all the liberals, I'll go there, start saying that, they need to get paid more. 15% is standard service. 20%
they
is
do need to get paid more.
Service.
They're making $3 an hour. They need to make more than 15% on your BS $15 sandwich that you ordered.
All right.
$15 sandwich.
Well,
I'm not getting like triple meat.
Here we
go. All right, I've got one. I think running is fun. A lot of people don't think running is fun. Okay, look, I am trying to like get in shape right now for triathlons and in the future an Ironman. And I am super stoked about doing that and super excited to do that because I think it's just fun to push your physical limits. And yeah,
I would say that's a good hobby for you. I have no qualms about that.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that because a lot of people don't think running is fun. I actually like I look
I don't think running's fun. I appreciate that you enjoy it as your hobby.
Okay, all right, I get that.
Which brings me to my unpopular opinion, which is about the definition of a hobby. And if Pujan is listening, he's punching the air right now because he knows that I'm about to be right. I'm going to drop some knowledge here. So I think for it to be a hobby, and Maddie's already getting irate. I can hear her over here. I think for it to be a hobby, it has to be an activity that you don't need other people to do.
I would disagree with that.
You don't need other people to do.
Oh, you don't need other people, but you can have other people?
Are you saying that solo activities are hobbies, and other people are telling you that unless you're with another person, then it's not a hobby?
No, I'm saying like, and Pujan uses the worst example, so I'm not even going to touch his example because it's horrible. But I'm saying like what Joe's doing, his hobby is running. Okay, that's a hobby to me.
Sure.
And when I go, I like to golf, so that's a hobby for me. Pujan likes to play pickup basketball. I would say that if you're playing by yourself, it's a hobby. But if you get your squad of 5 guys, now you're in an activity. And now you're in a different game.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking?
I see.
What are you talking about?
I think it's still a hobby.
It is an unpopular opinion for a reason. And it's not even an opinion. It's a fact, and I know I'm right.
So if I'm running down the street and like I'm just going I'm going by myself, and then somebody runs up right next to me, it is also an activity.
No. Because you can do those things by yourself. It doesn't require other people to run.
But
they just happen to be participating in a hobby next to you.
I think Taylor's point is that if he's running and another person starts running right next to him, he is no longer in a hobby.
You guys are independently
He's in
running.
an activity.
No, it's still a hobby.
No, you're running
side by side.
running together. You're running together now.
Independently.
Okay, but now what happens if you know each other? Like you know the other runner. Now is it an activity?
No, because
I wouldn't be doing it unless they were there.
You don't need 2 people to go on a run. You need 5 guys to play pickup basketball. Like, you can't go out there by yourself and just say, hey, I'm going to play 5-on-5 with just myself. Like, you need 9 other guys. That's where the necessity comes in. I could talk about this for an hour, and I have before, and I won't again.
I am floored. I am floored by this opinion.
Very interesting. Well, those are your hot takes, your unpopular opinions. We got pretty heated. I was impressed.
We did right off the bat. I felt
I'm sweating. Like I've sweat through this shirt I'm wearing.
I can't wait for the next one.
He's a bad man.
Are you about to engage in blasphemy?
Stay off the weed. I mean, my God. How much more can you stink?